I just believe that some people don't deserve to be parents. I think this is one of them. I'm going to give you the details about what she did and how heinous and callous this is. We really got to start bringing children into this world with a plan for their future and not just because we're getting caught up in the moment or even trying to collect benefits off of these kids. AFC hashtag babies for benefits. Make sure y'all, if y'all see anybody type that or use that, notice that's an AFC hashtag. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. And of course, my favorite source for news, and again, shout out to them for always putting out amazing articles and information, lawandcrime.com. A 33-year-old mother in Tennessee, and y'all are not going to believe this, is accused of killing her 7-year-old daughter, allegedly drowning the child in a creek just because the mom was having a bad day and wanted some time alone. You wanted some time alone, but you decided to have unprotected sex and bring a child into this world against this child's will. This child didn't ask to be here. You brought this child. You made the decision. What was that, Roe versus Wade? And y'all want these laws to be in your hands to where you can choose to either have a child or have an abortion. And since this baby girl is 7 years old, that means before Roe versus Wade got overturned, that means this was all your decision to make a choice to bring this child into this world, which you clearly didn't love and didn't care about. That fool's name that y'all see on my screen, her name is Brandy Nicole Elliott, and was taken into custody over the weekend and charged with first-degree murder in the slaying of her daughter by the name of Piper Elliott. According to a news release, Henderson Police Department, police on July 13th responded to a report of a child that had drowned in Drake's Creek near 200 saying, and I know y'all find that, you're just like, needed some time alone. Like, what? Like Tommy says, you can't make this shit up. Shout out to Tommy, by the way. Drowned in a creek near 200 Sanders Ferry Road. The area is about 15 miles northeast of Nashville. Emergency medical personnel transported Piper to a hospital, but they were not able to resuscitate her. She was pronounced dead at the scene about 1:45 p.m. Detectives were called to the scene and interviewed the victim's mother, identified as Elliott, regarding the circumstances of her daughter's drowning. Authorities said that after being transported to the police station and read her Miranda rights, she confessed to forcibly drowning Piper in shocking detail. So brace yourselves. Elliott told detectives, quote, she wanted time alone after having a rough day, police wrote in a probable cause affidavit. She says she left the apartment where she and her daughter live and sat at the bottom of the stairwell. That's when Piper came outside to be with her mom. Elliott allegedly said that Piper refused to leave her alone and would not stay in the apartment by herself. According to Elliott, she then took her daughter across the street where there was greenway running alongside Drake's Creek, where the two began to walk. That's when things took a turn for the worse. The defendant stated that since the victim would not give her what she wanted, which was time alone, she would then give the victim what she wanted, police wrote in an affidavit. The defendant stated that she held the victim underwater, quote, like a largemouth bass in a shallow area just off Greenway until she felt the victim bubbling. The defendant stated that she told the victim to be quiet while she held her head under the water. It is so hard to do this sometimes. Sometimes just some stories just stop me in my tracks. And I'm just like, God, why? Why? After a short while, the mother, Elliot, realized she had done something wrong and pulled her daughter from the water before she began performing CPR, but it was too late. I think that's all a lie. Deanna Sartain, a family friend who has worked with Elliot for several years, told Nashville CBS affiliate that she had no explanation for Elliot's actions. It's not the Brandy we knew. I keep analyzing it, and there's nothing. I just don't get it. I don't know why people even try to. You hear the story. Why do you even try to defend people like this? Why would you want to? Why even try? I don't understand it. That's what she did. Sartain explained that hours before the drowning, Elliot and Piper went to visit Piper's father in the hospital, and nothing seemed out of the normal. I'd like to know why he was in the hospital. Elliot is currently being held in Sumner County Jail with no bond. She's scheduled to appear in court on Friday for a bond hearing. Let me give you guys the fair uses. That is such a beautiful baby girl. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Y'all could do me a favor and please hit that thumbs up and share in the memory of Piper and make this story go viral. I want more people to see this. And continue to help us do that.
This is a park and greenway in Hendersonville along Old Hickory Lake where a mother and daughter would often come and walk, maybe feed the ducks. But what happened this time was almost beyond comprehension.
It's extremely shocking. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it.
Hendersonville police arrested 33-year-old Brandy Elliott on Saturday. She is charged with first-degree murder in the death of her 7-year-old daughter, Piper. Elliott told officers she wanted time alone after having a rough day, but that Piper would not leave her alone. So Elliott took her across the street to the lake and admitted to holding the child's head underwater until she stopped breathing. Piper later died at the hospital.
It's not like the Brandy that we knew.
Deanna Sartain is a friend of Elliott's, having worked with her for several years, and she knew Piper.
She was always smiling. She was just a very vivacious child.
Sartain says that on Saturday, Elliott took Piper to visit her father in the hospital, and everything seemed fine.
They went there, and Piper had colored him some pages for him to put on the wall. And then 2 hours later, Piper had passed away.
Police say murdered by her own mother. Is there any way you can explain this? What do you think could have led her to do this?
Yeah, I keep analyzing it, and there's nothing, Nick. There's nothing I just don't get it.
Again, Elliott is charged with first-degree murder and is currently locked up in the Sumner County Jail.
News alert right now. In fact, just moments ago, a bond hearing was held for the Hendersonville woman charged with drowning her 7-year-old daughter in Drakes Creek on Saturday. She's being held in the Sumner County Jail and charged with first-degree murder. Alicia Wimberly is at the WKRN.com alert desk. Let's go to her now. She's got the decision that came out of that bond hearing today. Alicia?
And Mark, we were at that bond hearing, and 33-year-old Brandy Elliott will still be held without bond for at least 3 more weeks. During the hearing, you can see and hear Elliott getting emotional as she answers the judge's questions on her prior criminal history. Elliott was confirmed to have no prior criminal record and no history not showing up to court. During the hearing, however, Elliott admitted to being under the care of a mental health professional years ago, but her lawyer declined Elliott to be placed under a mental health evaluation.
When my daughter was 2, I kind of lost it, like I did this time. Okay. And I had postpartum depression, and they gave me medicine for it, and I was having a really bad time with sleeping.
According to court documents, Elliott told police she took her daughter to the Greenway and held her underwater in a shallow area after the child would not leave her alone. Elliott's new trial date is scheduled for August 13th at 2 p.m. Mark.
story now that is just gut-wrenching and really it's hard to fathom. A Hendersonville mother charged with first-degree murder after admitting to police that she drowned her daughter. Erin Cantrell shows us how the community is mourning this little girl's short life.
I was walking from this way.
Juliana Fisher is new to walking this greenway near Sanders Ferry Road.
It's a beautiful lake and beautiful people, beautiful environment, the trees.
So when this memorial showed up,
I was like breezing past it yesterday and kind of just initially praying, but I wanted to know her name. Yeah, Piper.
she knew something terrible must have happened.
Oh, she was 7, Jesus, yes.
Piper was killed over the weekend, and according to Hendersonville detectives, her mother, Brandy Elliott, is the one responsible.
To imagine the terror and the shock.
Court documents reveal Elliott admitted to police she was having a rough day when her daughter Piper would not leave her alone.
A person's experiences and their dark experiences could challenge the way they're able to give that pure love.
Elliott deciding to take Piper to the Greenway, telling detectives she held Piper underwater until she stopped breathing, realizing what she had done after it was too late. The family who started this memorial here behind me are actually witnesses in the investigation, and they want to turn this entire area into Piper's Pathway. People have already dropped off flowers, balloons, and stuffed animals. Also letters written by school-aged children. One reading, "I miss you, but you are in a good resting place."
She's very like a baby. She was really young and lost her life.
Fisher chooses to believe in the power of prayer.
By faith, we believe that he received her soul.
And knows this community will continue to rally together, keeping little Piper's memory alive.
As much as I'm praying for the family and praying for other people who are in this kind of a scenario where they may be feeling dark and they don't know what to do with their kids, as we're praying for that, I'm also refusing this happening again in this community.
In Sumner,
what more can you tell us?
Mark, I spoke today with several people who know the drowning. They say the mother, 33-year-old Brandy Elliott, was a devoted mom who appeared to have had a severe mental break. According to Hendersonville police, officers responded to Drake's Creek near Sanders Ferry Road on Saturday. Authorities say Elliott told them she was having a rough day and wanted to be alone, so she stepped outside her apartment. Court documents say her 7-year-old daughter then followed Brandy outside, didn't want to be by herself, and the two eventually walked across the street, where Brandy is accused of drowning her in a shallow area of water. A memorial, as you can see, has already been set up for the daughter along the Greenway as those who knew her process this tragedy.
I was in shock. I couldn't believe that she would do something like this. She loved Piper more than anything in the world, and that was her everything. It's crazy to think that Piper's gone now. And I really wish that everybody would just, help John out. He's a military veteran. He needs the help.
Brandy Elliott was booked into Sumner County Jail on first-degree murder charges. A friend of John Elliott's has set up a GoFundMe for him with a set goal of $10,000. You can find a link to that page right now on our website, WKRN.com.
It just seems, let me not say that, about that GoFundMe. Just seems like everybody's 10,000 and up. I want to know why the father was in the hospital. Was it just temporary? Did he live in this household? And look at this. On her Facebook post, she wrote, "Actions speak louder than words." What a hypocritical ass bride. And do y'all think she's crying for her daughter, or do y'all think she's crying for her own self? And to me, that just signifies that she's selfish. And you said it best in the chat. You said the plot twist is that she was having a bad day, and now going forward, all of her days will be bad days. And I think that that's exactly what she deserves. She's a terrible person, and I think that she deserves a life sentence, because this was absolutely avoidable. She didn't have to do this to her daughter. Her daughter's a beautiful little girl and deserved every opportunity to grow up and become something great. Children are like sponges, and they're Velcro. Like, they are supposed to be attached to you. If you don't want that, you don't want your kids around you, you need a break from your kids, shouldn't have kids. It's a choice. And people need to understand the gravity of what they're getting into. So for her doing this to her daughter, there is no forgiveness. To Piper, young princess, there's a lot of good pictures of her. I want to give a picture by her. That's the dad right there, I think. I think that's the biological father. One of the pictures I liked of her, let me see if I can find it. Probably this one, Forever 7, Young Princess. R.I.P. So make sure you guys follow this. We'll probably do an update if there's more information that comes out. But I hope they give her a life sentence because she deserves every bit of that. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. From my heart to yours, AFC, thank you for your support. Like, share, and subscribe to the AFC podcast. We got to start getting more of these stories out. So let's keep sharing these, okay? Thank you.